Hello to all of my world travelers out there. I think we all know Japan is loaded with culture and rich history, and the city of Kyoto is home to almost 25% of Japan's national treasures. In this video, I've put together an itinerary for your trip to Kyoto that will blow you away. This will cover all go-to attractions for first-timers to the hidden gems that are a must. I'll also show you how to get around Kyoto at the end of the video and what to expect depending on the season, so don't miss out on that. Rightio, let's get into it. Day 1. Sightseeing and Temples. Alright, it's day 1. Welcome to the beautiful city of Kyoto. We're heading to Arashiyama and northwest Kyoto. The first stop is the bamboo forest. Here you feel like you're in a different world when walking through a seemingly endless path with high-stretching bamboo swaying with the wind. It may seem endless, but it's only about 500 meters long. It's the perfect morning stretch to get your blood flowing. Bring your camera because it's one of the most photographed areas of Kyoto, and for good reason. But as you can expect, pictures don't quite do it justice, so make sure you're soaking up the moment when you're there. Just a heads up, the entrance isn't super obvious, but keep your eyes open for a small street to the left of the Yojiya Cafe, Sagano, Arashiyama, and the Nonomiya bus stop. Oh, and the good news is that it's free. It's one of the few things that are still free in this world. So, enjoy. Now that you're relaxed from the bamboo forest, it's monkey time. This is my favorite part of Kyoto. We're going back to check out the Awatayama Monkey Park, and before you rightfully start to protest against animals locked in cages at a zoo, don't worry, the roles are reversed here. You'll be the one in a cage while the Japanese macaques roam freely. It gets better too. You can buy peanuts and apple bits to feed them right out of your hand. And if you're a true wildlife enthusiast, you can walk outside of the cage and mingle with the monkeys. If you do, obey the signs. Don't look the monkeys directly in the eye because they take it as a threat. You don't want to start a bar fight with a pack of wild monkeys, trust me. Once you've made friends with enough monkeys for one day, it's time to take the scenic train ride on the Sagano Romantic Train. Their words, not mine. But you'll agree whether you're with your loved one, your buddies, or on a solo adventure. The train station is just 1 kilometer away from the monkey park. You'll go to the Saga Taroko train station where the journey begins. Enjoy the scenic ride for about 25 minutes until you get to Kameoka Taroko Station. There's a variety of beauty that you could see on the ride, depending on the season. In the springtime, you'll see gorgeous Japanese cherry blossoms. In the summer, lush greens. In the fall, Japanese maple. And in the winter, hopefully a peaceful white dusting of snow. By now, I bet you're starting to crave seeing a temple. So we'll head now to northwest Kyoto to check out a golden leaf-covered temple called the Kinkaku-ji Temple. The temple reflects the extravagant Kiyama culture that emerged in a time of wealth. It's one of Kyoto's most popular buildings, and you'll see why when you're there. The Zen temple overlooks a large pond and is extremely rich in history. For example, it burnt down twice, once in a civil war and once by a frantic monk. I'll leave the rest for you to learn about when you're there. It's certainly been a long day, and if you want to call it quits and head back to the hotel to relax, we'll consider it a successful day. But if you still have time and energy for a little more adventure, head 30 minutes north of the Kinkaku-ji Temple for a hike from the Kurama to the Kibune through Kyoto's magical mountains. It's 4 kilometers long. Good luck on that one. Day 2, food and shopping. Okay. Day 1 is going to take some energy out of you. That's why Day 2 is designed into the heart of the city to visit the Nishiki Market. Its nickname is Kyoto's Pantry or Kyoto's Kitchen because it's where you can find all traditional local cuisine. There's over 100 shops and stalls to choose from, stretched through 5 blocks. So if you can't find something you like, that's on you. If there's one thing that I think you need to try, it's definitely taco tamago. It's an octopus with its head stuffed with a quail egg. Yum. I'll be honest, it doesn't sound great, but it's perfectly cooked with a slightly sweet soy sauce and has the perfect texture and taste to it. It's a crowd favorite and you'll get on board, I promise. After you eat until you're about to burst like a balloon, it's time for some good old Japanese entertainment. For that, we'll head to Gion, the entertainment district. It's filled with restaurants, bars, theaters, tea houses, temples, shrines, and most importantly, geishas or maikos. Not sure what a geisha is? They're professionals who dedicate their lives to entertaining people. And if you're one of those people who think that they're also prostitutes, they're not. They are extremely talented in conversation and in their craft. Dressed beautifully from head to toe in their silk kimonos and white makeup, they are hard to miss. Oh, and another thing. Don't take a picture of them without permission. It's considered rude and even banned. If you hang around Gaon long enough, you'll most likely see one. Once you get to Gaon though, head to the streets of Ninizakan and Sanazaka to explore and shop. And if you're craving some more time at a temple, definitely go check out Hokanji in the area. It's a 5-story tall Buddhist pagoda and your photo gallery needs it. Once nighttime rolls around, go on a 3-hour food and nightlife tour. This will be one of your favorite parts of the day. You'll get to check out some of the best food and enjoy some fun nightlife. The cool part about this is that you'll be with a bunch of other people trying to have a good time also, so you'll make friends for sure. Day 3. Sightseeing and Souvenirs. After a full down spent in downtown Kyoto, it's time to get back to sightseeing. We'll head to southern Higashiyama to check out some of Kyoto's best temples and shrines. Before you start the day, swing by Sanenzaka Street and get some coffee at Starbucks. I know you're probably thinking, that's lame. You came here to explore Japanese culture. Why go to Starbucks? Because it has the perfect infusion of Kyoto culture intertwined throughout. This Starbucks has wooden floors and tatami mats for sitting while you sip your coffee. It certainly doesn't look like any Starbucks you've been in before, and if you haven't gotten any souvenirs yet, check out one of the shops on that street for something to take home. When you're done with your coffee, it's temple time. Close by, you can visit the Kodaji Temple, one of the few temples designed by a female. You might be able to tell that the temple has a much more feminine vibe to it than the others you've seen. My favorite part of the temple is all of the gardens, especially the rock garden where the area is filled with gravel and raked in a way to resemble the ocean. Absolutely spectacular. Next, pop over to one of Japan's most celebrated temples, the Kiyomizu-dera Buddhist Temple. Kiyomizu-dera translates to pure water temple, and that's exactly what it is. The Otowa waterfall lands right at the base of the temple, and the rivers are utilized throughout the temple. Fun fact, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. To finish off the afternoon, rent a bike and cruise around for a while if the weather's good. As nighttime rolls around, it's time to get some dinner at one of Kyoto's most atmospheric and beautiful streets, Pontocho Alley. There's no cars or modern buildings in the area. It's heaven. The Kamogawa River runs right next to the street for making awesome river ride dining. The street is loaded with a big array of restaurants, so you'll have plenty of options from inexpensive yakitori to a classic Kyoto meal to highly exclusive restaurants that require connections and a full wallet. And while Kyoto isn't the most famous spot for Kobe beef, this would be a good time to give the world-acclaimed beef a shot if you feel like indulging. Go on, it could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Day 4. Shrines and Street Food. Okay. By now you've fallen in love with Kyoto and you're sad that this is your last day. So let's make it a good one. Let's go to southern Kyoto. We're going to start the day at a lot of visitors' favorite place, the Fushimi Inari Shrine. The shrine here is beautiful, but the thousands of torii gates straddling the paths are the main attraction. And if you're up for it, and I highly recommend it, take the 2 to 3 hour walk up the mountain on a trail covered with these beautiful torii gates. The view of Kyoto from the top is definitely worth it. Oh, and try to get there as early as you can. I wasn't kidding when I said it was one of the visitors' favorite places. Regardless, the crowd thins out a lot once you get further onto the trail. After a few hours of hiking, it's time to treat yourself to some more authentic Kyoto cuisine. This time, we're talking street food. There's such a wide variety, but expect fried chicken, cutlets, and skewered meat, dishes with bean curd, dango, mochi, taiyaki, and most importantly on a hot day, ice cream. Next, head to the nearby temple called Nanzenji, one of Kyoto's most historic temples. It was built in the 13th century and is a very important Zen Buddhist temple. Right away, the massive entrance will blow you away. But just a heads up for those who aren't fond of any paranormal activity, an exorcism was conducted there. I guess they had a little ghost problem back in the day, but the good news is the exorcism is claimed to have worked. Now, if it's cherry blossom season, which is around early March to mid-April, you need to take a stroll down to the Philosopher's Path, named after a philosopher who meditated on the path on his commute to Kyoto University. It's about 2 kilometers long and takes about 30 minutes to walk, but you'll love every second of it. Add another 30 minutes for the pictures you'll need to take as well. The stone path is followed by a canal, and both sides are covered with beautiful cherry blossom trees. Finish the day off with Kyoto's quirkiest and most theatrical chef at Kichi-Kichi Omurice. I guarantee you this will be one of the best rices you will eat in your life. Prepared by Chef Yukimura Motokichi and his secret sauce. He's TikTok famous, you know? He will also put on a charismatic show while he prepares your food in front of you. This is more of an experience than just a meal. You'll definitely need reservations though, as spots are filled very quickly. With over 1,200 positive Google reviews, you'll soon find out why. Luckily, you're watching this video before you go, right? Transportation. Alright, now you know where you need to go and what you need to do on your visit to Kyoto, but you're probably wondering, how the heck do I get to all of these places? The beauty of Kyoto is the public transportation system, and it's composed of trains and buses. It's also a pretty walkable city too, or even better, just rent a bicycle. You're probably going to need to get an IC card. It's an electronic card that's used to pay for all public transportation. The card costs 2,000 yen, and there's an additional 500 yen deposit, but don't worry, when you're done, you can return the card and get your unused funds and deposit back. It's super convenient to buy these cards because most train stations sell them right out of a vending machine. If you're thinking about heading out of the region, then it's probably a good idea to get a Kansai Pass because the IC card doesn't work outside of the region. The Kansai Pass works for subways, trains, and buses all throughout Kansai. P.S. Kyoto is inside Kansai. Also, these passes are good for 2 to 3 days, and thankfully the days don't need to be consecutive. These trains will be your best friend. Seasons. Kyoto is one of those beautiful places that experience the seasons, so it matters when you go. Autumn is probably the best season to visit during, which explains why it's the busiest. The foliage at this time of year is breathtaking. Spring is also a really good time to go too because the weather is just starting to warm up and nature is blossoming. Pink and white cherry blossoms galore. Summer can be hot and humid and it tends to rain quite a bit, so beware. The biggest advantage of going in the summer though is getting to experience Matsuri, the summer festival. Wintertime is often an overlooked time to visit Kyoto because the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius, but it's one of the best times to go. There aren't nearly as many crowds, and it can become a winter wonderland. Just dress for it, and you'll be fine. Alright, all that's left for you to figure out now is who you're taking with you. I can help you with that one, but just make sure you go to Kyoto ready to take in all that culture. Beautiful sights and amazing food. It'll be one of the best trips you ever take, I promise you. I'm glad you let me help you. You're gonna have so much fun. Like this video as a thank you, and of course, if you want help with future tips, make sure to subscribe to my page. See yous on the next video!